It's a shitstorm here in Toronto, but, is this a trap game for the LA Kings? Can we say that?
Ah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Right? I mean, where the way the Leafs played the last two games, coming off that loss against Boston, and the Kings. They've been playing a lot better as of late. Big win against Montreal. So, yeah, I would agree with you. It is a little bit of a trap game, I think, for the Kings because they have to be ready because Toronto. I would hope would come out and respond after last game, and with Matthews being out now, some guys are going to get a chance to step up. I mean, you guys were talking about it. My good buddy, I played with him, Max Domi. Like at one point, he was a second line guy, who put up over 70 points. So this is a good opportunity for him. I love the way Max plays. He plays hard. He was one of the guys that got in there was Zadorov. It should have been a lot of other guys before before him the other night, but he was in there. So they're going to need some contributions, obviously, and they're going to have to play a stingy style of hockey to make up for a guy like Auston Matthews being out of the lineup.
Yeah, Nate, we've talked at nauseum throughout this season. Oh, here's an opportunity to respond. Here you got to respond, and time to
Mhm.
respond, and just it seems like they never respond, and they're in the hole they are right now because of a lack of response. And for a guy that played the way you played, you did things that were out of your comfort zone, and you stepped up, and you defended your teammates, and you tried to go out of the outside of the box to try to impose your will on a game and get physical or whatever it called for. And I just watch over and over opportunity for anyone on this roster to step up and do something out of their comfort zone and respond. And they never do it. And it's just flat. And it blows my mind. Like there's opportunity out the ass is all an athlete can ask for. And no one
Yeah.
seems to be able to go and grasp it. What are your thoughts on that when you watch this kind of hockey?
Rosie, you said it perfect, man. I mean, I think that's what it is getting outside of your comfort zone. Like, do you think both of us, you and myself, do you think sometimes I wanted to grab Adam McQuaid and fight him? No, absolutely fucking not. I didn't. But those are things that, and you too, Rosie. You fought some heavy, tough guys and guys that probably we had no business fighting. Maybe you, but not me. Uh, but those are things that make you a better team, make you a better player. Is you have to get uncomfortable, right? And even like I said, Max Domi, like the guy's under 5'10", he's fighting Zadorov or trying to fight Zadorov. And the thing is, in that game, like when that happened, yeah, they got into scuffles later on in the game, but it's too little, too late. Like that's the opportune time. You have to make the most of your opportunity at that moment, right? And I think that's the biggest thing is like they're missing on these
Yeah.
moments of opportunities, moments to grab it or to even if they're losing like we both know like in losses where you get embarrassed but the team comes and everyone's sticking up for each other and it doesn't and I'm not saying fighting, it doesn't have to be fighting, just get in there.
Yeah.
Like you saw the instance with the Islanders and Matthew Schaefer, like every single guy was in there, not every guy had their gloves off, but those are things that galvanize a team and bring them together and you gain chemistry that way, and those are things that help a team throughout the season and make them get better. So I love what you said, Rosie. It's about getting outside your comfort zone. It's about doing things that are outside yourself. And a lot of their top guys like Nylander, uh, Tavares, like these guys have been good, right? I don't have any fault in those guys, but like guys like that are bigger, these bottom six guys, these big defensemen, like, no offense, fellas, but you weren't brought here to score goals. Like, you guys are a big, tough team. Like, play like it.
Zero identity. And so I transitioned the conversation to Austin Matthews. It's timely, obviously, but he's out at least a week, is what they're saying. A few games, not serious. Take everything in Toronto with a grain of salt when it comes to severity of injuries, because last year the captain was on a bird to Germany and on a different continent. So we'll leave it there. But has your opinion or view on Austin Matthews changed in, say, the last 9 to 12 months from where it was, where this guy had 69 rips and in one season? Has it changed? Should we change it for the better moving forward?
I think so. I think, from when I saw him play, especially at First Nation or Four Nations face-offs, I thought, Auston Matthews, his game has it's evolved. Like, I don't think Auston Matthews is that guy that's going to get 70 goals. Like, he's capable, but I don't know if he's that guy anymore because of his all-around game. Like, I look at his game. I look at the game against Pittsburgh, when they were down 3-0, and in the third period, like, he took over. I mean, he was great the whole game, I thought, overall, face-offs, defensively, everything. But in the third period, it was like, it was a man amongst boys. And when he does that, and if he can elevate that level more, I think it's constantly he's leaving us, wanting more sometimes from that style of play. But I think that now, I mean, he has turned himself into a cliche 200-foot player, can win faceoffs, can play a full complete game, and we know what he can do when he has the puck in the slot.
Yeah, and the back end has struggled this year. You could point to that maybe contributing to maybe the goaltending. Like, Stoley's been left on his own this year and his numbers aren't great. You can kind of pinpoint a point in time. It was only 4 games into the season, but he calls out his team publicly, and I thought rightfully so, as far as it being correct what he was talking about, but doing it in public. What was your take on that? And now looking back, the fact that he hasn't really responded either. Do you look at that as something that never should have happened?
You're talking about Stolarz calling his teammate out, or the rest. Yeah. I didn't like it. I thought it was just early. I mean, it was, early in the season. They're still trying to figure some things out. I understand. I mean, he's, trying to hold guys accountable, I get, but I mean, it's just, I think the timing of it, if I think too, himself, like, if he's lighting it on fire and he's the guy, maybe you're okay to say some things, but in that sense, maybe too little overzealous, and that they had some conversations about it. They talked about it after. So it's a team sport, right? And I think that, this, especially for the Leafs, like, they need every guy. Like, they need everybody, all hands on deck. I think this is a different team, right? Like, and I'm sure you guys have talked about in nausea, like, they are not the same team without Mitch Marner, 100-point guy. The makeup of their team, I just think, they're a different style of team that I think are still trying to find out who they are. Like, they are not the high-flying Leafs they were in the past. That they're just not that.
Yeah, they have zero identity right now, and looking forward to this LA Kings game. I mean, we're both very, very curious as to how it could look. I mean, no Stolarz, no Auston Matthews. How does that impact the team emotionally and mentally, especially when you're already struggling? Like, how do you approach a game like this when your big dog's out, your number one goalie's out?
Well, you can go two ways with it, and Rosie knows. It's feel sorry for yourself and try and get through the game, or it's, hey boys, like, here's our chance. Here's an opportunity to get things going here and get things going without our big guys, and we can still win games, and we can still win games the right way. I think these are the games where you really have to lean in to playing a certain style of game, like Rosie said, Berube hockey. If you're not going to have your top guys to, maybe score opportunistic goals at, key moments of the game, you're going to have to lean on your quote unquote system and culture and how you play the game. And these are the games that are a great opportunity for the Leafs to hopefully win tonight with some big names out of the lineup.
Yeah, and it's funny, you look at this team that won the Atlantic Division last year, and now they're struggling mightily, and now talk about rebuilds and firing everybody and missing the playoffs is talking. Do you think, when you look at it from the outside, that this team's going to figure this out and turn it around, or do you think they got some pretty serious problems?
I think they could figure it out. I think with their talent they have, obviously with Matthews, Nyes, Tavares, Nylander, Riley, like, they have still a lot of talent and a lot of guys that can, make plays and get the job done. I think, with the new faces they have, hopefully that they can get going too with the bottom six, like Waugh and, Dakota Joshua, these guys, Michelli. they need everybody. Like I said, they need everybody. But I do believe that, this team's only a year removed, and a lot of these guys were there last year of going to Game 7 against Florida in the second round. And I think this team, they're still right there. It's not like they're completely out of it. And I still think this team could pull it together at some point. It's just, it has to happen. You guys know they can't wait. Like it has to happen sooner rather than later. They need to rip off some games. They need to get in a little bit of a sweet spot of playing well.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I mean, 17 games into this thing, I think it's important to stress that. I know people are losing their minds. 3 straight losses, 2 against Boston. Fire this guy, fire the assistant coach. Like, everybody wants everybody fired. But I want to ask you specifically, like, being in the room when, it's a shit show. It's a storm out there. I mean, people are calling for Berube's head. It's like, what's it like inside that room? Are guys talking about it? And, like, how do you focus? Like, what kind of things can you do even as a depth guy to get the morale a bit higher with the team?
I think, speaking from experience, I've been on different teams where, there is a lot of noise outside the room, and I'm sure there's been closed door meetings. They've had those, I can almost guarantee they have, those you talk about it, you keep the noise on the outside. The only thing that matters is in this room. And that's the way they have to look at it. And I think there is no other way. And you always talk about during the season, if you're going, no one's feeling sorry for you. No one in the league is feeling sorry. If you think the Kings are coming in tonight, they want to get 2 points and get out. They want to keep your woes going. So it's all about what's in that room. And, you have to, like I said, you have to lean on guys. Like, guys have to step up. You need every single player, and coaches will stress that. And it's not on Craig Berube. It's just not on him. It's on these guys. It's what's in that room. So, that's the biggest thing is I think you have to keep that noise out of the room. Rosie and I have both been in those situations on teams where, everyone's looking for some kind of excuse or some kind of answer that's not in that room. That's the problem. And they have to, they got to figure that out inside their own locker room and find out the solution.
How do you regain that trust? Right? Go ahead, Rosie.
Saying there's nobody coming to save them. Like, there's only one way out of this, and dig in. The group that's there is the group that's there, and you haven't been cutting it. And now you got injury woes too. Like, it's time to just bear down and pull yourself out of this thing together. Cause like you said, no one feels sorry for you and no one's coming to save you. And I remember being in those situations, like you say, and they're just like, it's going to come from inside of here. And I'm excited, to see this game. I mean, depleted minus Stoli minus Matthews. Like, is someone going to step up and be that guy and pull this team out of the shit and say, I won't accept this. I'm going to do something for this team. Because again, they've had ample opportunity and they haven't done it. Nate, what's your prediction on tonight? Do they look like a different team, or is this going to get worse before it gets better?
I think it'll be a good game tonight. I mean, they're playing the Kings. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Toronto Leafs are going to play a good game. Are they going to win the hockey game? I don't know. But I'll say that they're going to play a good game tonight. They're going to respond. I mean, I speak to experience a little bit. Like, when I was in Anaheim, I think it was 2015, 2016. We started the season. I think by end of November, we were in last place. End of November, we were in last place. Well, we ended up winning the division that year. We went on a run in, December, January. But I remember being in the room and guys like Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry, these guys are like, hey, like, it's us. It's not the coach. It's not the GM. It's us. Like, we have to get this done. And guys like that, they had, solo performances, certain games where guys are like, shit, like, we got to get together. These guys are, they're carrying the weight for us right now. So that's what it's going to take. Maybe it takes a Willie Nylander 5-point game tonight for them to be like, all right, we got to get going. You never know. Like, these things, that's what can catapult a team. Or maybe it's a Max Domi 2-goal night. Who knows? But it just it takes one of these guys to step up and everyone to just follow lead.
Got to elevate, baby. 45, 24, and 2 all-time without Auston Matthews in the lineup. Nate, excellent stuff. Thank you so much for doing this. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, boys.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long-form interviews. We got clips. We got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, You can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.